Hey, do you want to know about the book of Psalms? It's a terrific book of the Bible and it's got some cool stuff in it, and you can see how God is good in the middle of it. So you just hang in there with me and we'll come and I'll talk to you about it in a few secs. And hello, hi, it's Deborah E. Johnson, and this is the channel where I talk about the goodness of God, tell of His goodness. So if you've never been here before, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I'm doing another book in the series where I tell of the goodness of God through the books of the Bible, and I cover a book and I talk about, I give a summary, and then I tell about the goodness of God in that chapter and how that goodness relates to us. So that's a reason for you to come back again and again. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate it. Please stay to the end because I have something a little bit different to talk about that you may not have noticed regarding the channel. So again, I'm Deborah E. Johnson. We're talking about the book of Psalms, and the book of Psalms is one of the longest psalm, right? Longest book in the Bible. And what's exciting about the book of Psalms is that it just covers a whole range of human emotion. So it covers sorrow, it covers grief, it covers happiness, it covers joy, it covers vengeance. Oh my gosh, in the book of in the Psalm or Song 109, David just wants to have vengeance on his enemies. So he's like, just cut them off, cut off the entire line. And so that's what makes the book of Psalms so interesting, because it has the whole range of human emotion. And I think is what also makes it so relatable, because you can go in there and find something for whatever you're feeling. Most likely you're going to find it in the book of Psalms. Also, a little bit of background. The book of Psalms is also written by several authors. So it's written by there's a few that are written by Moses, a few written by Solomon. Of course, David wrote many of them. Then there's the sons of Korah who wrote several, and Asaph who wrote them. And I believe that Heman is one of the other people. And there's a whole pile that are just anonymous. They're just all put together. It is also put together over 1,000-year period, of course, when Moses wrote one, and then all the way up through a portion of the Old Testament. And so you get to see it has a whole length and breadth and depth to it, especially with human emotion. It is also divided into 5 divisions. And Psalm 119 is the longest psalm in the book of Psalms. What do I count as God's goodness of the book of Psalms? I count God's goodness in the book of Psalms as the fact that God knows our experience, and God allows us to write about our experience, and God allows that to be something that He leaves for all time to say, I understand that you have all of these emotions. God gives us the opportunity to express all of human emotion, and He's not surprised by it. So that's why it's in the book of Psalms. So we can always go back to it and say, oh, you know what? If I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling this, if I'm feeling frustrated, you can find something in the book of Psalms, and God has allowed it to be there for us to see throughout the history of man, right? It's like God says, you know what? I know you have those experiences. I know you have those emotions. Here, I can see it. I've related it. I've allowed it to be written about through the writers over the years. And that's so cool, because God knows who we are, and He's not surprised. There's nothing in the Bible, especially in the book of Psalms, that He's not like going, oh my gosh, did they feel that? Oh my gosh, really? Are you serious? He knows all about us, and He loves us just the same. And I think that's what I find about the goodness of God in the book of Psalms. The whole human experience of emotion is there, and God has allowed it to be written and passed down from generation to generation. Isn't He good? And so I'm going to wrap this up in just a bit, but I did want you to stay until the end, because I wanted to tell you about my community tab is enabled in on this channel. So guess what? That means we can communicate even more. And I will put polls in there so you can answer some questions. We can get more acquainted with each other. And as a family, we can grow and just, really have a sense of, you know what? I know people out there in the world who are going to tell of God's goodness, and you can meet them and converse with them back here at Tell of His Goodness, and through some of the stuff that's happening on the community tab. So please, if you haven't been over to the community tab, hop on over there to the community tab. Leave me an answer in the poll. Leave me some answers. When I ask questions, I certainly appreciate it. This is Deborah E. Johnson, and I am going to wrap it up for today, talking about the book of Psalms. Remember, I'll probably do a couple of more about them, because, of course, I've got my favorites in there, and I've got to at least talk about a few of them, like maybe Psalm 1 or Psalm 46 or Psalm 119 or Psalm 150. Psalm 23, you can't forget that, right? So come back and be with me again as I talk about the goodness of God. Make sure you tell someone else about the goodness of God while I'm telling you and while I'm encouraging you, go encourage somebody else. Won't you do that? Please. Talk to you soon. This is Deborah E. Johnson. Bye for now.